past his 50 yards now. Couple of fakes, get it out to a screen to Gibbs. Has blocking. Jahmyr Gibbs. First down. Gibbs still going. Down inside the 10.
To their max potential.
Yeah, he's certainly done that a lot over his career. Get it out of the backfield quickly to Gibbs. Full sprint ahead. I'm sorry, special teams coach, not secondary. Here is Gibbs. Down the left side, nifty run by Gibbs out near midfield. 2nd and 1. Gibbs on the pitch, has some room. Jahmyr Gibbs, no one touches him. He's in for 6. And the first touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs in his NFL career.
Happy Halloween! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, young men. I will be going over the results from last week, and the lowest score, blowout of the week, high score, chugs that are owed, standings, and the next week's matchups. Back in my day, we didn't do things like this. But let's give it a one to look around.
All right. I had to take off the mask. I tried it. My accent was coming out funky. I came out Italian or some shit. I was trying to do an old man voice. It's not easy as it sounds, especially trying to do things where your voice comes out. So I'm just gonna do this shit with me. Fuck it. So gonna go over the results. Last week's Los Borrachos beating the Rook 129 to 126. Dude, I was fucking shitting it the whole time. I was like, all right, Osborne caught the ball. Should be good. And then pretty much next play, fucking Hawkinson catches it. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I couldn't get any breathing room. I guess it was the Addison show that night. So it is what it is. But sorry, Rook came out on top. The Arab Sensation blowing out the Nighthawk, 144 to 70. 70 being the lowest score this season so far. 70 points. That's fucking crazy. Los Tanks beating OG Men 152 to 144. I was getting close, man. I was like, oh shit, But Brock Purdy, like I said, he's always good for like at least 2 touchdowns, especially with McCaffrey there. And he got him. And that was pretty much what he needed to go over OG Men. Mike and the boys scoring big again, 163, beating the Warhammers 144. Yeah, Mike and the boys keeps it going. Moved up to 5th place. We'll see what happens next week. He could probably move up more in the standings since he has a good amount of points. The En Fuegos beating the Rebel Scum 169 and 144. That was like 3 teams at 144. 4 teams. It's funny because any OG Men, Warhammers, and Rebel Scum would have beat the Arab Sensations had they played him by like point something. Or shit, either of us, of Los Borrachos and the Rook. But hey, man, that's the schedule. You are who you're scheduled to play. It is what it is. So yeah, I'll go over the lowest scorer. Good thing is blowout of the week and lowest scores in the same one. And high score, go over the chugs that are owed and matchups.
Lowest score of the week.
Could you tell us what was wrong with Bijan today?
Yeah, just as we got through warm-ups and early on, just wasn't feeling like himself. And so, he played, but we weren't going to overdo it. Just being cautious, and we're not going to ever like when you have other guys that can go, I mean, we're a team. So we'll just have to continue to see what, monitor it tonight, tomorrow. I'll have a better answer for tomorrow.
Blowout of the week.
You win. I'm done. Please.
All right. And it's easy when the lowest score and the blowout of the week are the same person. And this week it was the Nighthawk. And championship rematch from last season. Same results, I guess. Fantasy don't lie. Herbert not putting up his projected. I guess that finger is really affecting him in his throws. Keenan Allen, I heard Herbert overthrew him a few times where he could have had him for a touchdown or so. I'm not sure. I really didn't watch the game, so it's just what I heard. Curtis Samuel came back to earth. This is what he did last season. Started off hot, and then almost the second half, he just fell off, and they started featuring more Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin, which they might do, since they lost. Bijan Robinson was the worst one for him. They said it was headaches or something that he felt it Saturday night, but they were going to give it a go. I mean, it should have been something that should have been brought up, but either way, if you hear he's just dealing with a headache, you're going to start him thinking he'll pull through. Guess he didn't. They felt they had the two guys, as you heard, Arthur Smith, that could jump in and do pretty well, which they did because they ended up winning. Madison with 6 points. Looks like Cam Akers dipping into his workload also, so not sure if I'm sure that's probably going to continue with the 6 points. Evan Ingram, did what we could against a good New Orleans defense. 9 points, not bad. Gabriel Davis, always boomer bust. You either have a great game with him or you don't. Yeah, that's why for me, he never caught my eye as far as like drafting him and picking him up or anything because I don't want to run that risk of having a 1-point game. Sam Laporta, he's been doing well all season, so 13 points. New Orleans, 4 points. I thought they'd do better against Jacksonville, but I mean, it is what it is. He had Henry on bye, Adam Thielen on bye, T. Higgins, Connor on IR. He left Joshua Downs and A.J. Dillon on the bench. Yeah, I mean, I most definitely would start Downs over Davis just going forward. I saw you saw my waiver wire, so you were able to pick him up. But yeah, man, good luck next week. Hopefully, your scoring goes up higher. You get Thielen, Higgins, and Henry back off the bye. Should do well. Good luck, man.
High scorer of the week.
Now,
Oh, Sandra, dumb bitch.
All right, and that brings us to our highest score with the point total of 169. And that'll be the En Fuegos. Coming off a loss on Monday night versus the Nighthawk. He redeemed himself, had 31 points from Jalen Hurts, 20 from Saquon Barkley, 20 from James Cook, 22 from Mike Evans, 31 from Jahmyr Gibbs, 19 from the Cleveland defense, even though the Indianapolis Colts put up 38 on them. Logan Thomas came back with 11 points. It was just Lockett and Cooper who couldn't put up points, but hey, man, you take the win how you take the win. But yeah, coming back from a down week, not scoring so high and losing to putting up points this time. But yeah, you had Garrett Wilson on a bye and Dallas on a bye. His point total could have been a little bit higher if he had put in Zay Flowers or Romeo Dobbs. Henderson on the bench to replace Kyron Williams. But yeah, good shit. We'll see next week. It continues. For now, enjoy the high scorer of the week. All right, just going over a little bit of the chugs. So last week he forgot the commissioner to post it, so he's extended it to this Sunday, so you get an extra chance to do the chug. If not, add more money to the pot. So for most points, he chose Tony. Mike and the boys chose the Rebel Scum. For the position challenge, OG Men owes that drink. And then for this week past, blowout of the week, the Nighthawk needs to chug, and the En Fuegos choose. I believe it was the Arab Sensations. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it would be the Arab Sensations. He's choosing the Arab Sensations to chug. So that is at least 4 chugs that we should see this week. We didn't have a position challenge, so nothing to go over there. So that's why I went over the chugs. So can't wait to see those chug videos or money in the pot.
The league weekly standings.
All right, and our updated standings for this week is in first place, moving up from second, Los Tanks at 6-1. In second place, the Nighthawk at 5-2. In third place, Los Borrachos at 4-3. In fourth place, the Arab Sensations at 4-3. In fifth place, Mike and the boys at 3-4. In sixth place, OG Men at 3-4. In seventh, the Rook at 3-4. Eighth place, the En Fuegos 3-4. In ninth, Rebel Scum at 2-5. And in 10th place, the Warhammers at 2-5. So yes, we got a few. Looks like 4 guys at 3-4. Everyone's pretty close. 1 win away, 2 wins away. We're halfway through the season, pretty much. We're about to get on a good run this week. No bye weeks, so it should be everyone's full team. Depending on injuries and stuff like that. But other than that, it should be your full squad versus everyone's full squad. See how that goes. Yeah, as of now, looks like everyone's, as far as points wise, is where they kind of should be. Except for Mike and the boys, looks like he could be second place, but it's just that wins and losses that he has. That team's performing now. We'll see how it goes the rest of the season. But yeah, we'll take a look into matchups.
Matchups of the week.
All right, and this week for our matchups, we have Los Borrachos projected at 140 versus the En Fuegos at 137. Compa, I got you this week. The Arab Sensations projected at 122 versus OG Men 138. Los Tanks, first place versus the up and comer, 142, and versus Mike and the boys 153. The Nighthawk 136 against Rebel Scum 133. The Warhammers 132 versus the Rook at 145. So yeah, we'll kind of take a look at each of these matchups individually. All right, in our first matchup, we have Los Borrachos versus the En Fuegos. Los Borrachos projected at 140. The En Fuegos projected at 137. Los Borrachos is starting Josh Allen, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Brees Hall, Dallas Goddard, David Montgomery, KJ Osborne, and the Jets defense. The En Fuegos is starting Jalen Hurts, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, Saquon Barkley, James Cook, Logan Thomas, Mike Evans, Jameer Gibbs, and the Cowboys defense. As far as los Borrachos, yeah, Montgomery, hopefully he plays. That'd be a great matchup for him, but I think they hold him out until after their bye week. Hopefully, hopefully he gets healthy and whatnot. Maybe start Tank Dell. Zach Moss has been pretty good all season. He's not getting the workload, but we'll see. Chuba Hubbard versus Houston. They have a pretty tough. They have a really shitty run defense. The Houston Texans do. So Chuba Hubbard, if Miles Sanders is in play, sorry. Picked up Jake Ferguson versus the Rams. You start your tight ends versus the Rams. Goddard put up 20 points against them a few weeks ago. Probably start him over Goddard. Since Goddard against Washington last time, I think he only put up like 2 points or something. Jake Ferguson coming off a bye. They should game plan for him a little bit more. That could be a little shootout between the Rams and the Cowboys. Roshan, we'll see. He says he's practicing, but fuck, man, it's been a few weeks now and no return. We'll see how he does. Hopefully, he puts up points. Of course, I'm feeling the Justin Jefferson on my IR, but yeah, okay. The En Fuegos, Jalen Hurts versus Washington. I don't think he did too good last time against them. He put up 30, 27. That's his usual. He's gonna score those the tush push touchdowns. Zay Flowers versus Arizona. Arizona's giving a lot of points to the wide receiver. Just saw what's his name, Jackson Smith and Jigba or something. The Seattle wide receiver put up big numbers against him. Garrett Wilson versus the Giants. Hopefully he's healthy coming off I think he had an ankle problem before the bye. The bye helped him out. Saquon Barkley versus the Jets. Jets can be had on the ground. James Cook versus Tampa Bay. That's a little bit harsh because Tampa Bay has a good run defense. Logan Thomas versus Philly. I'm not sure how they do against tight ends, but it should be a good matchup for them. Mike Evans versus Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo's getting blown out. Saw fucking New England put up points against them, and they haven't been doing shit all season. Jameer Gibbs, if Montgomery sits, he plays and just put up 30 points with Montgomery down. But we'll see. Sucks it's a Monday night game, so we won't know till Monday if fucking Montgomery plays. Not sure if willing to risk it, but a ver que Dallas defense versus the Rams. Like I said, that might be a shootout game, but Matthew Stafford throws still interceptions and stuff like that. Putting Cooper and Lockett on his bench. Taylor Algier, RB1 or what? I just saw Bijan was practicing or something, so that's good. Kincaid, I had him last week. I had to drop him because I needed, a flex. I should have just put him in my flex instead of dropping him. Done the Nighthawk thing and put him in on as my flex. Got Kyron Williams on IR, saying he should be back, but you got Darrell Henderson, who's doing pretty well, getting most of the touches. So yeah, projections really don't take too much into them. Even though I'm projected just by 3 points, so we'll see. All right, compa. Good luck. All right, it's getting a little warm, so I had to take off the flannel. Our next matchup, we have the Arab Sensations projected at 122 versus OG Men projected at 138. The Arab sensation starting Patrick Mahomes, Stephon Diggs, George Pickens. Damn, I don't know this dude's name. Jaleel McLaughlin. Jalen Warren, Cole Kmet, Jerry Jeudy, Tyler Boyd, and the Philly defense. OG-Men is starting Trevor Lawrence, A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Kenneth Walker, Austin Eckler, Darren Waller, Chris Godwin, Jacoby Myers, and the Miami defense. Let's see. The Arab sensation with Jacoby Ford or Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford injured. They said it was going to be about 2 weeks or so before he comes back. So from what I heard, it was a high ankle sprain, something with an ankle. It's usually a 3-week thing, but they're saying it's only 2, so we'll see. Debo out, obviously. They said he'd be out maybe till after the bye. Sorry. Picked up Royce Freeman against Dallas. Dallas doesn't give too much on the ground, so I'm not sure. Miller got moved to third now that Jamal Williams is back. I had hopes for that guy. Njoku versus Seattle. I'm not sure how they do against tight ends, but I mean that might be a better matchup than Cole Kmet. Gibson, I think he got phased out. They had some other running back in there taking some touches. Forgot his name. It was sounding Mexican, but yeah, Gibson I don't think would do anything. I don't think Gibson will do anything. As far as OG men, Trevor Lawrence hasn't really been putting up numbers, but hey, you know what? Just keep starting your studs and be patient. He started running the ball last game. Maybe he'll run the ball more this game. We'll see. AJ Brown's gonna be AJ Brown getting those targets and yards. Calvin Ridley, I wouldn't trust him, but you know he's kind of like Gabriel Davis, where you throw him in your lineup and hope he puts up points. Kenneth Walker, he's been legit all season, but against Cleveland, legit run defense. We'll see how that works out. Austin Eckler, I mean, I think they said he tweaked his ankle or tweaked something. That's why he wasn't well last game. Like I said, honestly, I haven't watched it, so I'm not too sure. But hopefully he's good. And against Chicago, he could put up some points. Although Chicago's been playing a little bit better. But they're at home, so they're not in Chicago, so it should be a good matchup. Waller versus the Jets. I don't know how the Jets are against tight ends, but I mean, he could put up some points, especially if Tyrod Taylor's a quarterback. If Daniel Jones comes back, I don't know how Waller puts up points. Godwin, like I said, Buffalo is that defense dealing with a lot of injuries, so they could put up some points on there. And problem is that it's at Buffalo, so I'm not sure how that is going to affect them. Jacoby Myers was Detroit, good matchup, but we're hoping Garoppolo plays because that's the guy who hyper targets both of our wide receivers, Adams and Myers. But if it's the rookie, I'm not sure how well that'll do, especially with Detroit. That defense, that front 7 of them could get to the quarterback, and the Raiders' fucking offensive line sucks. Miami, that's a good pickup. I wanted to pick them up against New England. Looks like I think Xavier Howard and maybe Ramsey play this week. So that should be a good matchup for them. Maybe a few turnovers or interceptions, maybe some pick sixes or stuff like that. But yeah, good luck to you both. 4th and 6th place. Could even each other out, and depending on points wise, one can jump over the other. So yeah, good luck. All right, in our next matchup, we have first place Los Tanks projected at 142 versus Mike and the Boys in fifth place projected at 153. Los Tanks is starting Brock Purdy, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Travis Etienne, DeAndre Swift, Kyle Pitts, Christian Kirk, Isaiah Pacheco, and the Buffalo defense. Mike and the Boys is starting Tua Tagovailoa, Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf, Raheem Mostert, Alvin Kamara, Travis Kelsey, Terry McLaurin, Tony Pollard, and the Baltimore defense. I mean, not much advice. I mean, first place, and Mike and the Boys has been on the tear. He should be, like I said, second place with the points wise. Brock Purdy, I mean, it doesn't affect us, but he's kind of been like not putting up that big of a number as he was in the beginning of the season. That Debo was probably affecting him a bit. Tyreek Hill, I mean, he's Tyreek Hill. He's gonna get his points. CeeDee Lamb versus the Rams, he should do well. uh, ETN versus Pittsburgh. I mean, they just gave up some points to Darrell Henderson, who just came off the couch. So that should be good. Swift versus Washington. With that offensive line, he's doing pretty well. Cal Pitts versus Tennessee. I mean, problem with that is that if they go up on Tennessee, they're just gonna run the ball. They won't really throw much. That's a problem with that offense. That it sucks. Christian Kirk versus Pitt. You know, Christian Kirk's been pretty good. He's been getting a lot of targets and stuff like that. He's solid. I had him last season. He's very consistent. Isaiah Pacheco versus Denver. I mean, he had a good game against them 2 weeks ago. And Buffalo versus Tampa Bay. You know, Baker just fucking couldn't put up more than 13 points against Atlanta. So we'll see. Sitting Pittman versus New Orleans. You know, what's his name? Lattimore. He could shadow him, I guess. Najee Harris, he had a good game last game, but yeah, I'd sit him over the guys you have now. Have Detroit's defense, maybe them against Las Vegas over Buffalo. As far as Mike and the Boys, Devontae Smith not putting up the points, but I mean, you got to check if what's her name, if Swift's gonna be at the Denver game. If she is, then fuck that will probably win you the game. Alvin Kamara, we'll see how they adjust as far as the little dump offs. They're saying there's going to be some coaching changes as far as the game plan. These dink and dunks that Carr's doing is not really winning them the game, and so they need to shake it up, I guess. Mostert, you know, he's just had a down game against a good defense, so he should bounce back. Metcalf, I mean, maybe he plays. I'm not sure what was the issue with him before, but mostly Pollard versus the Rams, he should do well. The Baltimore defense is pretty legit. McBride, yeah. And no one really on your bench that'd start over these guys, I guess. Maybe Palmer and Thomas. Cortland Sutton's been getting a lot of touchdowns. But, hey, man, whatever you're doing is working. So, good luck to both of you. All right. This week's a little bit faster, like I said, because everybody has their players and no bye weeks. So, yeah, we got the Nighthawk versus Rebel Scum. Nighthawk projected at 136 versus Rebel Scum projected at 133. The Nighthawk is starting Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Evan Ingram, T. Higgins, Joshua Downs, and New Orleans defense. Rebel Scum is starting Jared Goff, Brandon Ayuk, Jordan Addison, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Mark Andrews, Kareem Hunt, Deontay Johnson, and I think he picked up the Chargers defense. So I should put him at 144 to 136. Updated projections. But yeah, I mean, because like I said, no bye week, so everyone should have most of their players. As far as the Nighthawk, hopefully Bijan plays. I'm not sure what it was. They said he took a COVID test, came out negative, so it's not COVID. But we'll see if he plays this week or if it's more of a committee. I mean, it worked. They got the win with everyone sharing the ball, so we'll see. Derrick Henry, I mean, we'll see what he does. They might stack the box since it will be William Levy or Will Levy, the rookie quarterback. I'm sure they're just gonna stack the box and not let Derrick Henry beat him. But we'll see. Easier said than done. T. Higgins coming off the bye should be healthy. Against San Francisco, you saw Addison put up points on him. But we'll see. Joshua Downs, he's been consistent all season. Should do well. New Orleans defense, like I said, Cleveland just put up 19 on them, even though they let them score so much. So they're turnover prone, so it should be a good matchup for them. Hopefully Herbert gets back. Keenan Allen, they get it together. See what's up. Thielen versus Houston. Houston, I think, is pretty tough against wide receivers and QBs, so we'll see how that goes. They said they were going to shake up the offense. I think Reich was saying maybe more throws downfield, which means Mango and Chark. I'm not sure, but we'll see how that offense looks at coming off of the bye. As far as the Rebel Scum, finally starting Jordan Addison. McCaffrey, it's McCaffrey. Jonathan Taylor getting more of those touches back. And he's getting the end zone, the red zone touches. So, I mean, a touchdown here and there. ETN just scored 2 on them, so they're vulnerable in that perspective. Mark Andrews, it's Mark Andrews. He gets the touches, he gets the touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, with no forward there. I think Pierre Strong is the other guy there, so should be good. Seattle, is vulnerable versus a run. Deontay Johnson did pretty well on his first game back and against Jacksonville. We'll see. Actually, Jacksonville's pretty good against wide receivers the last few games. Sitting Chris Olave. I mean, I don't blame you. Miles Sanders maybe will come back healthy, but I wouldn't start him just yet to see how that looks. CJ Stroud versus Carolina. That's a pretty good matchup, but I get it. What's his name? Jared Goff versus Las Vegas at home. Better matchup. And yeah, Chargers defense versus Chicago against a rookie, and they should do well. So yeah, I mean, good luck to you. Second place versus ninth. Had it been last week, Rebel Scum would have beat Nighthawk. So we'll see how this week goes. All right, in our last matchup, we have the Warhammers versus the Rook. The Warhammers projected at 132 versus the Rook projected at 145. Warhammers starting Jordan Love, Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown. What's this guy's name? Rashad White. What the hell? My bad. Rashad White. Damian Pierce, George Kittle, Marquise Brown, Nico Collins, and the Indy defense. The Rook is starting Joe Burrow, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, TJ Hawkinson, DJ Moore, Drake London, and Atlanta's defense. All right. And as far as the Warhammers, he picked up Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray. That would be an upgrade. I'm sure there's better QBs out there than Jordan Love. I know I recommended him earlier, but man, that dude seems to be struggling. I don't know what it is. I mean, just looking at it, Dak Prescott versus the Rams, he could have a pretty good game. He started running the ball the last game. Maybe they do a little bit more of that and have him come out of the pocket and stuff like that. So that could be a good pickup. Matthew Stafford, you know, like I said, that game could be a shootout between Prescott and Matthew Stafford. Double him up with Cooper Cup. White, you know my feelings on the White. I'd start Foreman over him. Even if Roshan shows up, but Foreman didn't last game. I doubt they changed that. Pierce, hopefully he's good to go. I think last game Singletary kind of took over most of those touches and did pretty well with them. So hopefully he didn't lose his job over the bye week, but we'll see. Marquise Brown, yeah, he's pretty good, solid against Baltimore. I just don't know. I mean, garbage time. Nico Collins, he's always legit. But yeah, it looks like he lost. I mean, Watson, I think he should be up for 3 weeks. Rashid Rice is coming up. So those are, Rice is a pretty good pickup. Mitchell, injured again for Baltimore. I had him as a stash, but I don't know, man. And then James Robinson, I think they just needed it just in case Aaron Jones went down, but they said he came out pretty well from the game. So, up to you if you want to just keep him. I'd rather pick up other players that might have more upside. As far as the rook, he gets Burrow and Chase back. Hopefully, off the bye, they're a little bit healthier. Waddle, hopefully, he stays healthy. He gave you some points last game, but against New Orleans and New England, I think they play him tough. I'm not sure how. I doubt they all put up big numbers, but we'll see. Jacobs versus Detroit. Problem is Detroit has a pretty good run defense, but he is catching some passes out of the backfield. So with some of those checkdowns, but again, you're hoping for Garoppolo to come back because he's the one that does those little checkdowns or focuses on just the 3 players and no one else. Williams versus KC. Williams will do what Williams does, but he's sharing with McLaughlin. Hawkinson putting up points. Moore, I think he did well versus with the new QB, DJ Moore. And London, like I said, with Kyle Pitts, if they get up big, I doubt they throw the ball. So, Sam, I didn't know you had 3 QBs. Geno Smith and Kirk Cousins. Smith and Jigba, if DK Metcalf doesn't play, it's how you picked up Akers. Against Green Bay, that's a pretty shitty run defense. So maybe that guy. Charbonnet, maybe he comes back healthy, but yeah, like I said, everybody's not on bye anymore, and it's just your players that are on, IR. So good luck to you both. Okay, Rook coming off a loss. The Warhammers also, maybe they could pick it up. We'll see what's up. All right, and this week we got a little bit of the information sooner, so I'm going to put it on the video. The position challenge, it'll be The Warhammers versus the Rook. Battle of the wide receivers. Got Cooper Cup and Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase. Cooper Cup projected at 20. Amon-Ra St. Brown projected at 18. Cup versus Dallas. Brown versus Las Vegas. The Rook, you got Waddle versus Waddle projected at 16 and Chase at 20. Chase versus San Francisco and Waddle versus New England. Like I said, I mean, New England plays Miami tough. They might shut down Waddle, but you never know. Maybe they'll focus more on Tyreek Hill and leave Waddle open. Chase, like I said, you saw what Jordan Addison did to him. I don't doubt Chase can do the same. Like I said, with a week to prepare extra and a week to rest, and then they got it. Dallas, I don't think Gilmore shadows anymore, but I mean they're decent against wide receivers. So Cup may struggle. Puka Nakua, baby. Um, St. Brown versus Las Vegas. Las Vegas sucks. But I mean, I'm not sure if Marcus Peters will be on him, but that could be a problem for Amon-Ra. But we'll see. As far as so yeah, the poll is up on our group page and Facebook. Can vote. So far, it's only me and Los Tanks that have voted. Los Tanks voted for Cooper Cup and Amon-Ra. I'm voting for the Rook, just to support your Rook. Just to even it out, one vote and one vote, since nobody really votes anymore. Get some. Either way, you see a chug or whatever. Hopefully. So yeah, that's the position challenge for this week. All right, and that's it for me. Good luck, bitches. Should be a good week of scoring. Like I said, we all have our starters. Well, most of us. But we have a solid squad. Everybody has solid points, and we should be able to put up some good points this week. So good luck. Peace out, bitches.